back to my channel. It's your girl Stella on DearStellaTV with another banging topic today. Before we get into it, you know what we do on this channel, guys. Before you watch me, just go and get your drink so that you can have a good listen. Cheers, guys. Happy Sunday. Guys, today I'm bringing you a very common sense topic, but you'll be surprised how often it rears its ugly head in marriages. The topic today is keep your ex out of your marriage. One would think that that's a simple thing. Everybody should know that, but you'll be surprised how many people still have their ex lurking around on their speed dial, in their hearts, in their thoughts, intruding in their marriages. So today it's about keeping your marriage separate from your past. Like this video or my previous videos, share and subscribe. You never know whose marriage you'll be saving. You never know which single person you'll be changing their life through the grace of God. I'm going to get into it, but as I'm talking to you, if you haven't watched my last video where I showed you what I did with just manually squeezing juice, you should go and watch it. Today I'm going to just be knitting. I don't know if you guys know how to knit, but my younger sister tells me that I was knitting in secondary school, which I don't remember, but now I do. But when I came to London, a very dear child of mine, a daughter, precious daughter, she has 4 kids. Her name is Chika, and she's always on this channel watching me. Shout out to you, Chika. She came to my house one day to visit, and she was knitting, and I thought, okay, let me revamp this. So you too, you can do it. This is what I've knitted. I'll show you. I'm trying to make like a blanket. This time around, I've never done a blanket. I usually do like a muffler, but I'm doing a big blanket, and I'm doing like in blocks. I found it on YouTube, so you guys can Google it and go on YouTube and just find it. Anyway, so I'm going to be talking and knitting, right? So anyway, today, keep your ex out of your marriage. I'm just giving you like, I don't know, maybe 7 tips, six or 7 tips or so that will help you, that practical things that you can do to keep your ex out of your marriage, whether you're the husband or you are the wife. Listen attentively. If you have to write it down, write, guys. Number 1, don't talk about your ex without your spouse's permission. Don't talk about your ex. So that means before you get married, you must deal with whatever it is you had with your ex. You must have dealt with it, and you should have moved on. You are not going to use your husband or your wife as a therapist. That's not fair to them. If it's something you've talked about, maybe when you met, it's a different matter. You have to have authorization before you discuss your ex. Nobody wants to know what you did with your ex in your marriage. When you are dating, you can do all of that. You could have, bared your heart and your soul. That's fine. But in your marriage, all that should be what? Left behind. Nobody wants to be compared to your ex. Number 2, do not compare your wife or your husband with your ex. Guys, that's common sense. That's a no-go area. It's disrespectful to do that. In fact, let me go as far as to say it is an abomination. Don't do it. Why? Because you wouldn't like it if it was done to you. Do unto others, the Bible says, as you want them to do unto you. If you follow that very basic biblical principle in life, we will not hurt each other. I would not like for my husband to be discussing his ex if it's not like, comparing me to his ex. Are you crazy? That's a no-no. Neither am I going to compare him to my ex. You just don't do it. It's an abomination. Number 3, delete your ex's number. Do you need me to tell you that? It's common sense. Number 4, block your ex. If they suddenly have your number, one day they decide to text you or call you, what do? You block it. It's the respectful thing to do for your husband or your wife. Look, cheating doesn't start from you take off your clothes and you start cheating. That's not how it starts now. It's very subtle. It starts with a call. It starts with a text message. And if you are sincere in your heart and in your soul, and you value the vows you made before God, to your wife or to your husband, you wouldn't do that. I don't even know what number I am now. But do not confide in your ex. Some people, maybe they walk with their ex, I don't know, or they see them around, whatever. Then you go and then she asks you. You think she's asking you or he's asking you out of the kindness of their heart to say, how's your wife? And then you say, and then your face falls. Maybe that morning you just had a small quarrel, small low with your wife or your husband. And then he says, oh, tell me, you can tell me about it. And you think she's, or he or she, your ex, he wants to know. They really want to know because they care about your wife. No, they care about you. That's how it starts. And then they make a quick inroad. And then you say, no, well, it's nothing really, but I wish he would listen. I wish he's thoughtful. I mean, I wish he's romantic. I wish he was such a... And then guess, naturally, what will your ex say? Well, you had all that in me. And then what's she doing? She's manipulating your thoughts. And then you begin to think of the good old days. If they were such good old days, why is he or she your ex? You know, sometimes you just wonder, why do people just see fire burning, raging? Survival instinct should kick in and tell you, you run away from fire. You don't go walking in it, except you want to get burnt. That's how it is when you are having such innocent in your heart or in your mind, in your thoughts, innocent conversation with your ex about your wife or your husband. It's a dumb move. It's a move that slides into cheating. You tell yourself, I can control it. I'm in control of my emotion. Excuse me. There are people stronger than you, more with greater will. Is it born again Christian? Is it firebrand? Is it pastor that are greater than you, and they have fallen? They have cheated. They have committed adultery. So don't deceive yourself. It's better for you to be humble enough to admit that, you know what, I don't trust my emotions. I don't trust myself. Therefore, you take precaution like a sensible, reasonable, wise person. Let's even say like a wise person. When the Bible tells you flee fornication, it didn't say dabble with it. Try it out and then see if you are strong enough to withstand it. No, it didn't. It said flee, run. Therefore, it brings me to my next point. Run away from your ex. Move far from your ex. If you and your ex are in the same area, Biko, bros, sister, start looking for a new house. Save. Do whatever it takes if you really want your marriage to last, because you don't want to be running into your ex at the grocery store or in church or in, I don't know, in the market or in a gas station or filling station. No, that's not what you want, because that's going to breed what I just talked about earlier. Now, there's something else. If you walk with your ex, resign. You say, what's she talking about? This is not practical. Go to Matthew chapter 19, verse 6. Jesus Christ was quoting what had been said in Genesis 2:24, which is, prior to that, before Matthew chapter 6, the verses prior to that, they were asking him that, can a man divorce his wife for any and every reason? And he said, and Jesus was telling them that, do you not know that it has been said that a man shall leave his father and his mother, and he shall cleave to his wife, they shall become one flesh. No longer two, but one. And then Jesus Christ went on to say, which is the basis of this talk I'm having with you. He went on to say that, it's a very interesting verse, that if all married people here adhere to it, there'll be no divorce. Matthew 19 chapters. Matthew chapter 19 verse 6. He said, what God has joined together, that is, husband and wife joined together and married, let no one separate. Let nothing put them asunder. Some other versions will say, some other Bible versions will say, let no one separate. The biggest threat to your marriage is your ex, if you have any. If you're married as a virgin, there is no problem. I'm not talking to you. Husband and wife, if you're married as a virgin, you can just clock out of this one. You can clock out of this way. It's not for you. I'm talking about those who have exes. That is the biggest threat to your marriage. Why? Because they know how to push the buttons. They know how to push your buttons if they want to. They know how to, they know how to get you to that good space, to that feel-good, temporary feel-good space. Because if it was a permanent feel-good space, you still would have been there. You would have married your ex. That is what you should realize. So, but they don't, when they want to manipulate, they don't make you remember the reason you broke up with them. No. They only talk about the good times. It's clever. Come on. But let me tell you something. If you're not ready to get married, if you're not ready to give your all, which means your heart, your soul, your mind, your spirit, your time, your treasure, your talent, everything you own and have, emotionally, physically, spiritually, if you're not ready to give it to your husband or your wife, or to your fiancé and your fiancée, please don't get married. Because marriage is such a beauty, but it's so sad that so many people have made it seem like it's a trap. They've made it seem like it's a terrible thing. That's because when you marry the wrong person, it becomes hell on earth. I agree, it's true. But if you marry right, and you work hard at it, and you pray, and you give yourself totally to each other. I'm not talking about a one-sided giving. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about both of you being true to your vows, being true to yourself. Your heart and soul is in it. That is what I'm talking about. You will realize that it's the best thing that ever happened to you. Then you will know why it's the greatest gift. I call it the greatest gift to man that God has given us, apart from the children. I mean, the children come later. I'm talking about you, the companionship, the joy that comes in sharing your life with your husband or your wife, your joys, your sadness, your vulnerable moments. Somebody who's going to cheer you on. Somebody's going to help you grow. Somebody you are going to help to grow. Somebody who you are going to whisper sweet nothings in their ear. Somebody who is wholly yours and you are wholly theirs. That's the beauty of our marriage. Every other thing that is different from that is fake. Every other thing that's different from that is counterfeit. That's not how God intended it. It doesn't mean you won't have challenges. Through the challenges, it does not. My husband always says something. Even when we argue, it does not reduce the love he has for me. Even when we argue, my love for my husband does not reduce. Why? I know he loves me wholeheartedly. He's never been in doubt. It's not questionable. If you have to question your husband or your wife's love for you, there is a problem. You need to fix that. So today, all I'm telling you is keep your exes out of your marriage. Why? For 4 reasons. 1, they are intruders, and they will intrude without you knowing. First, they will take over your thoughts. Don't think about your ex. The best way to do that is the way I have told you all of these things. Put them out of your life for good and forever. That's where they belong. That's why they are your ex. If you don't put them out of your life, they will intrude. If you don't put them out of your life, they will divert your attention from your husband or your wife to themselves. If you don't put them out of your life, they will manipulate you in your marriage. You will begin to see your husband or your wife as your enemy. And eventually, what do? They will destroy your marriage. So that is the 4 reasons why they are a big threat in your marriage. Your ex is the biggest threat one of the biggest threats. In fact, I'll put it as very high, very number one. So today, I hope you have learned. I don't know how many reasons I gave you. I mean, 6 or 7 or 8 practical ways you can keep your exes out of your life. Another one is, I don't know if I've said it. If I've said it, disregard it. Don't confide in your ex about your wife or your husband. Don't confide in your ex about anything. Don't confide your ex about your marriage. Yes, there's another one I remembered. Do not, under any circumstances, ask your help for money. Do not ask your help for money or ask your ex to give your husband or your wife a job. What is wrong with you? Common sense. You cannot tell me that in the whole of this world, with how many billions of people, it's only your ex that can give your husband or your wife a job. Are you joking? Is there no God in heaven that you serve who is able to make all things possible? All things are possible unto him who believes. Please, by the time you ask your ex for favor, for money, they can tell you, sleep with me before I give you. Or you ask them for a favor, then you know you are owing them. Tomorrow they can also come to you for a favor. And those people, sometimes they have no limits, there are no boundaries. That is a big threat. And I've told you why. So I hope, my prayer is that you'll be wise and that you will not allow your ex near your marriage. Move away, relocate. I don't care, change cities. I am serious. I pray. I'm hoping that you want your marriage to work and be blessed the way my marriage works and is blessed to the glory of God. But there are practical things that you have to do. You've got to take positive action, okay? So anyway, that's it. You saw me knitting. That's how I knit. I've knitted some things. Let me show you. Okay, so I knitted this one. And you see? So that's where I'm going. And this one. I'm doing multicolored blanket, guys. I'm doing a multicolored blanket. Maybe when I finish, I'll show you. I do it in my spare time. I do it in my spare time when I'm not doing anything, guys. So those are the ones I've knitted. So if I'm going to make it into like a, not too big, an average size blanket. So guys, you know that also I'm an author. I write romance novels. This is Shocking Affair. It's about, in fact, I wish I could read it for you, the blog. But anyway, he is a janitor. He's a cleaner in the office, and she, the heroine, is the CEO. You can imagine, fireworks. Very nice. This one is Longing for You. Oh my gosh. The first day she meets him, she's so forward. She asks him, will you marry me? Longing for You. Fireworks, extraordinary. And this one is Irresistible Passion. She's a doctor and he has a double life. A single dad who has a double life. Hot, hot, hot. Guys, if you find my books, if you read my books on Amazon, Kobo, Nook, Apple Books, Okada Books, Smashwords, anywhere you find them, read it and let me know. Guys, until next time, it's your girl Stella. All I want you to do is pray, read your books, love your kids, love your husband, love your wife. If you're single, pray that God will bring you the bone of your bone and the flesh of your flesh. But before then, like this video, share and subscribe, and let me know what you think, guys. If you already knit, let me know. If you've learned anything, let me know. Cheers. God bless.